Thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I'm proud to be here with you.
I'm so excited. Just first of all, to see your face, just because it's been a minute. But tell me a little bit about this new project that you're working on. Make me wanna holla.
Well, first and foremost, my nickname when I got started in the radio business was T Holla. Actually, it kind of goes back a little bit to the football days. A few people called me Holla. They would call T Holla. What's going on with T Holla? So that was my nickname. I became T Holla. And so as time went on, time progressed, and I started thinking about doing this solo project. I was like, how can I utilize that name to promote this show and come up with a concept and an idea? And so I was like, hey, um, make me want to holla. And it's associated with an old school song by Marvin Gaye, which is really like what makes me want to holler was, at that time when he dropped it was a lot of social issues going on in the world.
Mhm,
And he
mhm.
was talking about all the things that made him want to holler. And at that time, it was a lot of bad things that made you want to holler, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I thought that maybe, I would want to talk to people about some of the things that make them want to holler, whether that's good or bad. Because, sometimes when you get excited about something, you want to holler about it, right?
Right, right.
So
And I guess is this something like a passion project for you? Just because we come from the broadcast world and this is not scripted. And I think that's the beauty of this. It's like you're just able to have conversations like you would with anyone.
absolutely. And as you know, as someone who spent many, many, many years in mainstream media, it has taken a turn, honestly.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mainstream media has taken a turn, even in just the short time that I've been in it. And I felt like I want to be in a situation where I have more control over what I'm doing, more control over my voice. And it's not like I didn't always have control of my voice, but I have control of my content. I have
Yeah.
control of every single thing. And there's not somebody micromanaging what I'm saying, what I'm doing, or limiting my opportunities. And so that was really the catalyst for this whole thing.
Yeah. No, and you've got so much experience, whether it's in, radio or in TV. And I think one thing that's like so interesting about you is first of all, I remember the day I met you when you walked into the studio at Fox 13 and you were with Marcus Trufant and you were doing the barbershop podcast and radio
Hmm.
show. And you guys would come on every Friday and do a segment in studio with us. And I just remember being so impressed by how, like, what a hustler you are. Like you have so many different, hands in different pots, so many different things going on. And
Yeah.
I just think it's so cool to see that you're like branching out into something that's really authentic to you.
Yeah, I think it's really important for a lot of us who are in that creative space. You know what I mean? You know just as well as anybody because you're in it. Um, that sometimes you have to, get out and hustle for yourself, right? You have to
Mm,
go out and make this thing happen for yourself. A lot of times, nobody's going to make it happen for you, and especially not going to even help you or assist you unless they see you out there working and grinding. So that's what I decided to do from the jump. It was like,
yeah.
listen, nobody's out there looking for me. Nobody came to knock on my door at my house in Snohomish, Washington,
Yeah.
looking for me to do some, the things that I love to do. So I went out there and tried to make things happen. I shook the carpet and seen what came out, and this is what happened. And again, it all started really, honestly, this whole thing, Jamie, started from my Facebook page. Like I used to have. It was my outlet at the time, right? I
Right.
was I was kind of creative, but I come from this athlete's background, and so everybody expects athletes to fit into this little athlete package, this little athlete box. And that wasn't necessarily me.
Right.
So I had to find an outlet and I just had to hustle that up.
Well, I guess, what is your goal? Who is your audience? Like who are you hoping to connect with by doing this?
I want to connect with everybody, literally.
Mhm.
Like and ultimately. So and here's my problem with this whole new content creation and social media and just everything that I'm trying to do right now is I come across so many experts.
Oh yeah.
So many experts, right, that have all the answers and they're going to tell you how to become a success at this new wave podcast media thing, right? And
I'm
one of
sure
the
they have
things
a supplement for that.
oh, right, I need to get that. Tell me where to get that. It's probably going to look at the box underneath is going to tell you where to get it.
Yeah.
But no, the thing that I've heard is that Terry, you have to find a niche. You have to find a niche and you have to stay in that lane and you have to
Yeah.
push this forever. If you want to do fitness, you have to stay in the fitness niche. If you want to do cooking, you have to do the, all your videos and all your posts have to be about this. And I was like,
Mhm.
I do all these things, and I don't. I mean, and I do all of them well, and
Yes.
not just that I do them all, but I love them
You
all. Like I
enjoy it.
love it all. So I felt like there has to be a way for me to do something where I could display all of it, and
Mhm.
I don't have to be just like Terry, the guy that just knows football, because
Right.
there's way more to it than that, right? So that's
It also
again, that's another. Go
it
ahead. That's
requires
just
so much, yeah, it requires so much discipline though to be able to do all the things that you do. And I think that like you're talking about football, and that's the reason I wanted to bring you on this podcast is because I just have so much respect for your hustle and the way your determination, because you do so many different things and you do them well. And these are your interests and your hobbies, and you just want to be able to share them and explore them. That's exactly what I want to do as well. You know, I don't
yeah,
fit into a certain box or a certain lane. And just like you, my whole career, people just wanted me to, it's like fit in this box, mold your hair to this shape, and please put on, your anchor dress and just read what's on the prompter, right? And so
right.
it's like it's just not satisfying. It doesn't like feed your soul. And so I think that like I wanted to talk to you about all of these different pivots that I've seen you do because like you said, you use your Facebook as like a way to have a voice and a platform to be able to share your life with, your friends and your audience ultimately, right? I'm a
Right.
part of your audience. The pivot though from one project to the next, and not only that, but just like life, the shit that happens in life, right? I know like I
Yeah.
just went through a divorce recently a couple of years ago. You
Right.
also like our lives have kind of like mirrored each other in a way, and I've watched
Yes.
you from a distance just as a friend and a colleague, and I'm just so impressed with your ability to be able to pivot through everything. So do you think you get
Yeah.
that? Does that start from like your core foundation in football?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's part of the beginning of it. In football, you're taught, that, when you go to practice, you practice all these plays, right? You study the playbook and you practice them over and over and over, repetition, 100, 200 times every week, right?
Mhm.
And then you show up on Saturday and you run that thing like, oh, like we've been practicing this all week. I did this 200 times, and guess what? It don't work. It
Right.
don't work. So what do? Do you keep doing it? No, at some point you have to pivot, right? You're like, okay, I see what's in front of me now.
Mhm.
They've absolutely adjusted. I have to switch and do something completely different. So that's part of where I got it from. The other part of where I got it from is just my upbringing, like my
Mhm.
family situations. I come from a family. My family originates from the deep, deep, dirty South.
Mhm.
Um, my dad, and my dad was a sharecropper, literally. Like, I don't know if anybody out there understands what that sharecropping situation was like, but it's literally one little step above slavery,
Yeah.
dead ass. So,
Mhm.
it's like where you, again, for those who don't know, you literally pick cotton in order to live in a house. So that's my dad did that till he left and go to college. And I was born when my parents were in college. And so that's where I was raised out there.
Mhm.
And so we had to, there were hardships and there were hard times. And so you can't sit and whine and complain about what's happening. You got to move on. You got to pivot. And so I learned how to pivot early.
Yeah, yeah, and it makes me think of that. I had shared that press conference. I'm blanking on the name of the football player, but you sent me a direct message about as a reaction to this player because he was talking about
Right.
how his dad didn't have any running water in his house, right?
Yeah.
And now he's able to take care of his entire family because he's got this incredible opportunity in the NFL. Like, what was like your reaction to that?
Oh, so yeah, you posted that thing and I was like floored by it, right? Like I
Mhm.
I can't remember his name, but I did after I watched the video, I
Yeah.
went and Googled him. I Googled him and I saw his name and he comes from a little small town in West Virginia.
Mhm.
Really, the town is really, doing bad,
Yeah.
obviously doing bad. And he said his father never had running water. I read his dad was, believe it or not, a championship arm wrestler.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And yeah, his dad was a championship arm wrestler, but obviously it doesn't pay that much. So he's in a situation now. He's playing quarterback for the Chicago Bears, and he just got a brand new contract for like $5 million. And something like that changes your trajectory and your family tree forever. And then not just in the monetarily, it just creates situations and opportunities that would have never existed, right? Like his family would have never had that opportunity if he wouldn't have excelled in all the levels that he went through, whether it was high school, moving on to college, and then making it to the NFL. So yeah, it was huge.
Yeah,
Cool
yeah. And
story, by the way. Thanks for posting that, Jamie.
yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for following.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it caught my attention because it was like another one of those pivots in life. And like you and I have been talking the last couple days just about like even just personal stuff, like going through divorce, getting back in the dating game, how crazy that is like to be. I mean, to me, it's really weird because like I mean, I hadn't been on a first date since I was like 29 or 28, which is crazy. I'm 43 now, you know. So like what was that like for you? Like
It's a whole different world.
I know. And I know there's like women are all up in your DMs and you're getting all kinds of crazy messages.
Me? Me? Not me.
But like how do you approach that? How do you manage all that?
Easy. I don't.
Yeah.
No, literally, like so here, and again, it's like I haven't dated, like I literally haven't dated in the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do? It's like you've really, in my situation, you've taken a caveman
Yes.
and put him like in Amazon, like
Right.
like create some software for us. Like
Yeah, what is
I don't
this app about bagels and coffee and like all kinds of weird stuff and lots of fish? And I'm like, I'm not,
fish
it's
and
so foreign to me. I don't.
bumblebees and timber. I don't know nothing about timber. Chopping wood.
Hinged
No.
or unhinged or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So honestly, I told myself when I was divorced, I'm not getting into that. Like I made a conscious decision, said I didn't want to get into it because even though I had not been in the dating pool for a couple of decades,
Yeah.
I had friends that were in it. I had associates that were in it, and both male and female. And all I got was horror stories. You know, I originally got a couple of guys that were like, "Oh my god, it's like so easy, like shooting fish in the barrel. All I got to do is do this and find a woman and that."
Yeah.
But then it was like nothing substantive about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was a lot of just BS and a lot of people telling lies about themselves and
Have you
not
been
being honest.
catfished? Have you like,
I have never not no. I've never been catfished, not in that type of way. Yeah, I've been catfished in some other ways, but not within the dating world. So,
yeah.
so I like I said, I was not gonna get into it. And when I was getting DMs, just on regular social media, I wasn't really replying. But I have this problem. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have the nice guy syndrome where I people will say stuff and then I feel like I need to have a conversation with this person, even
Oh
though
gosh. Yeah.
there's absolutely no opportunity for anything to happen. I know that out the gate, but I'm just like, oh, thank you. That's very sweet. So what are, yeah. And then I find myself in this
You're trapped. How do you get
trapped
out of
in
that? Yeah, you're
this
trapped in this.
6 month conversation with this person online.
Dude, I told you, I sent you that Slavic girl's guide to dating
I know.
on Insta.
But
Text him,
here's the
2
thing.
a.m.
Let me ask you
Hey.
this. Yeah, I know. I love her. She's brilliant. She's a
Yeah.
genius. She's funny as hell. But maybe there's some truth to you need to start doing that. And I think that one of the reasons why she's so good is because there's a little inkling of truth in some of that.
There
right?
is.
Like
Yeah.
that comes
Yeah.
from somewhere. Her ideas
Her
and her
comedy
thoughts.
comes from somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So my question to you is then what has it been like for you? How do you handle those situations? Because I know that without a single doubt, there's people that are like, "Ooh, Jamie."
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, like you, not interested in apps of any kind. When I first became single, my girlfriend, former news anchor as well, signed me up for a bunch of apps. And I was like, not
Unbeknownst
having
to
it.
you?
No. She
Unsolicited?
told me, like, she was like, no, we're doing this. Even though she had been on the apps because she was recently divorced too. And she was telling me all of these nightmare stories. And then she's like, so join me, I was like, what?
Misery loves
Why
company.
can't I? Because I used to like to just sit there and swipe through her app for her. That was fun. Like, that's about as far as I'll go. I'm like, I would do that for my hairdresser. I love swiping for other people. But no, I'm like, I don't want to be the one that's, on this thing. And then it's like, it's hard. And I'm sure you imagine as well, because nobody, like, it wasn't like they were just interested in you just as a person, but it's like, oh, you're the news lady, right?
Yeah.
The news lady.
Right.
It's like,
Right. Oh, yeah.
what are you going to talk about the news? Am I going to have to put on a broadcast at dinner? Like, it felt like, am I supposed to come with my anchor voice? Right. And
Right.
I just didn't want, I don't know, like, it just didn't feel like a natural way to like meet people. So I want to say, like, after a week, I removed myself from all of them. And there's still, like, it's funny. Sometimes viewers will reach out. Do you ever get people using, I'm sure you do, get people using your image on a dating app?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never had any on the dating app, knock on wood, yet. I've had some use it on some other things, but.
Yeah. Well, I've had viewers thank goodness they reach out to me, like, on my, like, a social media, like, they'll DM me and say, hey, listen, so I think I met you over on, insert whatever dating app it is. And we've been chatting. I just want to make sure, is it really you though? And I'm like, oh, good Lord, don't give that person any money. It's not me. Like, I don't know who. Yeah.
No, none of that. No.
I'm like, report it.
Listen, what's crazy is because with the proliferation of AI and everything right now, and just crazy people in the world, like, somebody could create an entire Jamie profile on something else and just be parading around as you.
Yes. And it's,
I'm
that's
trying not
scary.
to give anybody any ideas out there that's watching this, but.
No, but I mean, that's been happening a long time. That happened to my co-anchor all the time. David would talk to me about, like, people would use his photos and then claim to be a doctor and then try to pick up women and then try to scam them, like romance scams.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just weird. And it's like strange to me talking to someone that you've never met on I don't know, like.
So that's another part of it. And so would you ever do that? Like, it's talking to somebody, again, you've never met, a complete stranger that's in your inbox, and then just continue this.
Only if I knew them. Like, if I knew them as a professional, like, I guess for me, it's like, I'd have to know they were a real person. Like, and so, like, but I don't really reply to people. I get lots of messages, but I just don't often reciprocate. Like, they'll know I read it, obviously, but I just don't, I don't know. Cause it just, you don't know who you're talking to.
Very true.
It's just strange. It's weird. The whole dating scene and just like all of it. And I feel like too, LinkedIn is apparently a dating website. Like, I'll accept because it's a professional, I thought it was a professional page, and I get all of these requests assuming that these are people that want to professionally connect.
They want to give me a job, or let's network,
or just network, right? But it's like a different type of networking. It's just like another version of a dating app.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you here and transparent, because that's what we're all about, being transparent here, respectfully so. Respectfully so. I've come to realize and understand that literally everything online can be a freaking dating app.
Oh, 100%.
With some of these guys out here, and probably a few women too, but it's incredible. I will listen. Here's a confession, and I'm sorry, I'm putting it out there, and if she sees it and hears it, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I had someone very close to me get picked up, literally, like, she developed a full relationship with a man on Words with Friends.
Stop. Words with Friends? Is that like where you play Scrabble?
You play the Scrabble game.
Oh my goodness.
One thing led to another. They started talking in the little chat box on there.
I wonder which words, like I wonder what that board looked like, right? Before it escalated.
Hey, listen, I didn't ask, but it absolutely happened and I had to deal with it.
What do you mean?
I had to deal with it. I think I'll just leave it there, but yeah, it was.
Did she meet this person off the Words with Friends, like in person?
That is remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
I was married to this person when it happened.
I did not know this story. Are you
If you don't
serious?
know, now you
Now you
know.
know. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm floored.
Yeah. So that's why I said I know it can happen anywhere, anytime, any place. And
Wow.
yeah, so
Dropping
that
bombs. Oh my goodness.
yeah. I'm telling you, it can happen to anybody out there, fellas, ladies. I don't care
Yeah.
who you are.
Wow. So I assume you're not on that app then. You're not a fan of Words with
I'm not.
Friends?
I don't play Words with
You're
Friends.
not
No,
a
I'm not.
Scrabble fan. Right.
I had it on my phone. I deleted it. I got rid of it. Anything with. I don't even play Scrabble no more.
Right.
Pictionary. I don't play games. I don't do nothing.
Right.
I'm
Wow.
turned. Yeah. So.
I'm so sorry. Like
eh,
I mean, yeah. And that is another moment where I know you mentally had to pivot and
Oh,
decide like where am I where am I going forward, right? I mean,
right.
you've
Oh
got
yeah.
what? You're a father of 4?
That's right.
Yeah.
I am indeed. Yeah. It was definitely a pivot, and I thought I was pivoting, doing the right thing, and yeah. So it didn't pivot the way I wanted it to, but
Mm.
so then I made another pivot, and then now here we are.
Wow. That just like blew my mind. I was not expecting you
I know
to
you
say
weren't.
that. That's
I know you
wild.
weren't, but that's why I gave
Wow.
it to you respectfully. So,
Respectfully. Yeah,
yeah,
I appreciate it.
yeah.
But I guess so. All right. So I know you're not on the dating apps, but
No.
you are out there, right? I mean, you're a
I'm
handsome
out. So
man,
the
you're
thing is,
successful.
yeah, so I'm out, obviously. I'm out and about and moving around the city at a frenetic pace at this point. Because I'm still hustling. The thing,
Yeah.
and again, that goes back to what we were talking about. I've been working in this business of media for a better part of a decade, at least a decade. And but what a lot of people don't know is though they'll see me on TV and I'm on multiple channels. I've been on FOX13 here in
Yeah.
Seattle. I've been on the NBC station affiliate here in Seattle. And I'm just all the time. And people assume that I work there.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm an independent contractor and I bounce back and forth from all these stations. And so I have to stay on the grind in order
Mm.
to make myself, visible and valuable. And so I'm out a lot, Jamie. I am out a lot. And I do meet a lot of people out there. And I have met a lot of women recently. And
Mhm. It's hard though, because you're like being Terry the showman, because it's like we do turn it on
oh yeah.
when you're doing that type of work. There's like an on switch. I call it red light reflex. Like I would look at the camera, red light goes on, boom. Like you go into
Amen.
your yeah. But
Amen.
like how do you connect with people while you're also doing that at the same time, hustling?
Um, and again, it's difficult. It is difficult. And
Yeah.
so one of the things and again, it's the blessing and the curse of social media, right? Like,
Mhm.
back in the day, I'm assuming that most people would just be like, yeah, let's exchange phone numbers. Let's do that back in the good old days. Like, give me your
Yeah.
phone number. And I don't do that. When I see people and they're interested or whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, let me just follow you on Insta.
Sure.
And so yeah, so that's kind of like the little gatekeeper, right? Like and you just kind of, I'm not mean and I'm not rude and I'm not,
Mhm.
I'm always like you said, red light, right?
Right.
I'm professional and I don't want to turn anybody off and say, oh, he was such a jerk or this, that, and the third. But then that's how I end up with this 6 months of conversations that aren't going
Oh my
anywhere.
gosh.
Like,
Yeah, because
yeah,
it's like you're like trapped in some sort of like,
right.
orbit, like a time loop, and you can't escape it. Yeah.
It is.
That's
And so
you
yeah, so I don't and again, I wasn't my thing is I wasn't interested in dating at all. Like at the end of my marriage, I
same.
wasn't for a long like I wasn't interested in it at all. And
Mhm.
I did end up meeting someone who was that person and it was a complete accident. It was completely happenstance and it was
I
something that
love
wasn't
that.
planned. And so that's how I got into the little thing I'm in now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that because I feel like that's the universe. I'm a total astrology nerd. I believe that like right place, right time, as above, so below, all of that. Like
Yeah.
and so I do believe like there are people that we are meant to meet. Those things are faded.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, like the app thing. I feel like people are just killing time
Yeah.
in using them. And I'm so happy like just being alone. That makes
Yeah.
me
Oh yeah.
I'm 100%. And I would rather be alone than be lonely with someone or be surfing like swiping left or right.
Right.
It's
And just
yeah.
become this. Yeah. You don't want that. You don't want that reputation.
Yeah.
I so here's the thing I want to ask you though, Jamie. So like I feel like we're in this, I don't want to call it the generation, but it is. It's a time in history where I'm noticing a lot of people are really not interested in having that type of relationship. A lot of people are into having like transactional relationships, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, especially the younger
You mean like
generation.
friends with benefits? Is that
A
what you
lot of
mean?
people want
Or
friends with
yeah.
benefits, and
Yeah.
they're not interested in having a relationship. And some people are just content with
Yeah.
being single. And there's this thing I've been noticing online. It's like the war of men versus women,
Mm.
where a lot of women are saying, "Oh, all you guys aren't crap" or whatever, right? And men saying, "Oh, you women, all you only want money and this, that, and the third," and
Yeah.
it's causing this big rift. And I don't know how to feel about that with our society and our
Well,
future generations.
and I think that's just the whole problem with the internet in general. Like you've got like everyone's associated with some different group, right? You've got, what do they call it? Trad wives, traditional wives. And I saw today there was like a thing where this guy was attacking the fact that he doesn't like the trad wives because he thinks it's just it's like a hate group and these women just want men to take care of them and that's not the message I guess that they're trying to send and it's
Mhm.
very divisive. And I think like just one-on-one conversations, people don't just meet face to face anymore. Not like you and your partner right now, but like people just don't. Everybody's hiding behind a keyboard or behind their iPhone.
Right.
And I think too, I think this is just an observation, but like post COVID,
Oh,
people
yeah.
don't know how to connect anymore.
Oh, 100%.
People don't know how to have a conversation. Like even just to go from texting to have somebody want to call you on the phone, like to me, I thought that was so funny. I saw Bethany Frankel posted a video about how some guy, he reached out to her, messaged her. He seemed really sweet. Then he goes, "Hey, I'd like to call you. Do you have time to talk?" And she like, the next cut,
No.
it was a jump cut. She's on the floor, right? She's like, he wants to talk on the
Gotta
phone,
talk.
but it's, yeah. And then he was like, "Okay, now I'm going to pick you up for a date." Like, and she's like, "He wants to pick me up?" Like, and it was all like things that you would consider normal, but just stuff that doesn't really seem to happen much
Right.
anymore. And
Right.
I do think like post COVID, like
Oh,
nobody really
100%.
got back on track.
100%. COVID really pulled a number on a lot of people. And I tell people that
Yeah.
all the time, like, not just as far as the actual illness, as
Yeah.
that it affected the entire world, but I think mentally, socially, like
Yeah.
so many different people got destroyed by COVID.
Hmm.
Um, and it's not, we're talking about people who are adults, of course, but even the young people. Like
Yep.
there's some young people that really had their coming of age during the pandemic and they
Hmm.
really never understood how to communicate with somebody in person or how to develop a relationship in person. And so that when you miss that window, like I don't know if there's a going back to learning it again. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how when you were first started dating or
Yeah.
first started liking boys or whatever, right? That feeling you'd have when you see them in person
Right. Right.
or
The
when you have that first
butterflies. Yeah.
conversation and whatever, your first hold hands or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a generation of people that didn't get that at that age. And
Hmm.
so who
Well,
do they
and
become?
that's why they call it the art of the conversation. Like conversation is an art, and to be able to communicate with someone face to face, it's a skill. It's an art. It requires practice. And yeah, you're right. Like it just doesn't. I think that's why like the whole dating scene is it's just so weird and messed up right now. I don't know. Like I'm just
Can
not.
you, do you have hope, Jamie? Do you have hope that we could fix it, that things can become better and things could, we could once again create happy couples that have healthy in-person relationships?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm a realist. Like I don't know if it it I just I think like, you know, just like in your situation, like, yes, you will meet people in certain places at certain times and it's, you're just supposed to meet that person. And I do believe in that, but I don't think the digital thing is going to get any better or any, I don't know. I just don't see that happening.
You-
I do enjoy it though for like the fun of it. Like when you posted that video, I was dying. I showed everyone that like I could find where you were talking about you were giving out dating advice. And you had me. Like I was listening. I was paying attention. And you're like, so here's my advice. You know, why don't you try to get yourself somebody a little bit ugly? I lost my shit.
I mean, for real, like, and again, I'll take it back to my video for those that haven't seen it. I'll explain it. Like, you know, I was like, you know, some people, you know, you have trust issues and, you know, self-esteem issues and baggage issues from previous relationships, right?
Mhm.
So get yourself somebody who's a little bit ugly so that you don't have to be so concerned when they leave your presence that people
Yeah.
are, oh, hey, oh, I'm in your DMs. They don't care about that because nobody's doing that. Nobody's
Right.
hitting that ugly person up for all that.
But
But
don't you
I'm
get
saying
trapped
that in
then?
a
Doesn't that
humorous way.
put you back in that cycle though that you were just talking about? Like you're trapped inside that little DM box and you can't get out.
But that's what. Listen, so I don't know if you're an unattractive person. You're not going to have that problem as much as an attractive person. We are being respectful here, right? But
Right,
we're being
right.
honest. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
but here's and again to end the way I ended that video. Again, it was supposed to be satirical and humorous for
yeah,
everybody to get
yeah,
a chuckle out of it. But so at the end, I was like, you know what? Even people who are twos and threes on the scale of attractiveness in today's society, they're
yeah.
getting hit on in their inbox.
Mhm.
So, because their standards of people, men, have really gone from here to here.
What are men looking for? Like, what are, I mean, I obviously you speak on behalf of all men right
All
now.
men, listen, I got us, fellas. Don't sit there, don't hold my beer. I got us on this one. No, I can't tell you what all men want. Now, I can tell you this. Then again, going back to my history, I haven't been in the dating pool in the 2000s, right?
Yeah,
So I cannot speak for an entire, probably several generations of men, right? So I couldn't tell you what this generation of men who are out there really in the dating world right now, super active. I
yeah.
can tell you what I've found out about a lot of these men that are out there. And again, fellas, don't be mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just keeping it real
And
on here.
respectful.
Yeah, respectful and real is that a lot of guys, of course, are kind of just looking to hook up, right? They just want to
Like
hook up a
serial
little bit.
dating.
But yes, oh yes, 100%. And
I've heard of it. I haven't like, I don't really know much about it, but I've heard about it. And it's like people who just like, they just go on date after date after like swipe, swipe, swipe
yeah,
and
yeah.
meet up. And yeah,
And I feel like that's par for the course right now. And I think again, of course, men, and that's what makes it difficult, I think, in today's dating world when you're using these apps and you're online and doing that thing. Men are, and I guess women to an extent, you can probably speak on it, but men more so than women are visual, right? We
right,
see stuff we like and we're like, oh, she got a big butt. Oh, look at that. Oh, I want that. Caveman type shit. And so that's what we do. Like, so then we see the girl who got the big butt and we start communicating and then we go on a date and then we do our thing, whatever, with the big butt. And we find out that the big butt has like a conversation of a chihuahua. And then we're like, oh, we move. And then now I'm on to the next swipe or
right.
whatever it is. And I say that, like I say when I have a conversation of a chihuahua, it could be anything that makes him move on to the next. And because he's a serial dater, I got the next thing popping.
Yeah. And I saw something online recently where this psychologist was talking about how, like you just said, men are visual. And that's why women, you know, put themselves together and present themselves in a certain way because allegedly they're trying to attract a man. Right. And
Mhm.
then she was talking about how women are attracted by what they're hearing. And so men know what to say to hook a woman, right? Regardless
Right.
of whether they mean it or not,
Right.
they know what to say to get the woman on the line, right? And so I just find that so interesting, just like that whole dynamic of dating. Like I get into the psychology of it and kind of geek out a little bit. And it made me think of too a conversation that you and I had where you basically like punched me in the gut and you
Uh-oh.
you'll remember this. We were talking about how people aren't, like I said to you, I like when people are just direct. Like, don't come at me and pretend like you're trying to connect with me, like for a business reason. And then it turns out like, no, you actually had, other intentions for,
Yes.
reaching out. And I said to you, well, I prefer when people are just direct and they're just, straightforward. And you said to me, oh, so you can get a head start and run.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
I am. I'm like, what? And then when you said that, I was at a red light and I saw your thing come through. And I was like, oh my gosh, like you're so right though. I mean, like there's so many different types of like, you don't know who you're dating and like who's behind that profile or, when you meet someone for the first time, even in person, like there's these like people who are avoidant. I would say that's definitely me. Like you said, I'm a runner. I want a head start. I want to know like, okay, like, and go, right?
Yeah.
And then there's people who are chasers. And sometimes, it's like I think I find it so interesting that like the way a chaser will find an avoidant and then it's like those two, it's
That's
like
a funny
magnets.
combination.
It is, but they're like magnets. And it's like,
Yeah.
they just kind of go in circles and then don't understand, like, then they wind up like hating dating because, you're going after someone who doesn't want to be in the dating pool to begin
You
with.
can never get. It's like the infinity
Right.
loop. Like and there's some guys again that they're whatever for whatever reason they accept that challenge. Yeah, I accept that challenge, and I'm not going to stop. And I know there's women that probably wish they would, but
Yeah.
we're never gonna stop.
I always find a reason. I'm like one of those people that always finds a reason where I'm like, oh, I don't like his hands or I don't like, I know it's going to sound crazy, but like, I'll just, and I think it's just like me finding excuses for myself as to why, I don't like his teeth. I don't like his hands. I don't like, whatever it is, the shape of his head. Like, I have no idea. It's just like random stuff, but I'll talk myself out of every reason why, you should even try to connect with someone.
So let's take this back a couple steps. Now you talked about how you said that you prefer someone to be straightforward and just tell you their intentions right out of the gate.
Yeah, because I always find it creepy when I find personally people will reach out to me claiming to want to connect like network wise, and it'll be someone who's within our business, our industry, or, somewhere in that orbit, blue check mark. And then it's not what I thought because then they're like, oh, hey, so like, and it like the conversation takes a hard left and you're like, hold on a second. That's not, I thought you wanted to talk about broadcasting or podcasts or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. I've been in that situation too for a couple of different reasons.
Yeah.
But the reason why I was curious is like, and I think a lot of men that are watching this would be curious from your perspective and maybe you personally, but just in general, since you're going to speak for all women now.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
So when you say you want a man to be direct, and what if a man just comes out and he says directly exactly what he wants? What is it? Is it a situation?
I mean, is he 6'4" or is he like?
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna ask. You read my mind. You read my mind.
I'm literally wearing a T-shirt that says, "Damn, I wish I was your lover."
But I'm not 6'4". I'm serious. Like serious, man. I think I'm asking in general. Like, I'm sure there's probably not a situation you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. But like if a man came out and said, hey, look,
these are my intentions.
I find you physically attractive, this, that, and the third. What's happening?
Right.
Is there a situation? Like, is there something that you would see or feel, or is it a gut feeling, or like?
I would trust my gut. Yeah. And I think just like from talking to my girlfriends who are dating, that would be very much appreciated because it's like there's so many guys that are they put out mixed signals. It's like they show interest, then they just kind of like disappear or they like that's the main thing that I hear from my girlfriends is like guys will reach out to them, they'll go on a date and then like they won't hear from him for like a month and then he pops up as if it has not been 4 weeks and just picks up the conversation. Like, what?
Listen, man, some of us men are just honestly
Busy.
smart.
I
No,
think they're
I'm not
following the
looking at
Slavic
busy.
Girl's Guide to Dating.
We're just. I mean, it's not we're busy. We do get busy, but
Yeah.
we get sidetracked and we're not smart and we're not thinking.
Yeah.
One of the things what I'm learning about myself
Yeah.
in this last year and a half or so of being newly single is sometimes the way I love someone or show someone love is not the way that they accept love. You know what I mean?
That's a
Like
great
I
point.
have a feeling in my heart when I'm doing something for someone or talking to someone that I am showing them my way of appreciating and loving them. And they are not accepting it because that's not what they see as love. Like for me, if I cook for you or I have long conversations on the phone with you, that's me talking to you in a way that I love you because I don't do that for everyone. I don't
Right.
just do that. Where someone might be like, yeah, you cook dinner, but you've never taken me to Paris, or you don't buy, or it might be this or that or the other. And
Yeah.
so I'm kind of learning how to love people in the way that they need to be loved.
Yeah.
So and it's new. And again, I guess for a lot of men, that will probably be a new thing.
Yeah, no, I think that's such a great point too. And because it kind of like I also and I know you know this because I've asked you about your astrology, but I also think astrology plays a role as well. I think uh astrology also like what generation you're from.
Oh, yeah.
Because let me tell you right now, and I think we talked about this earlier this week, but I feel like I don't know what I'm putting out there. And I don't think I'm not even out there, right? But like there's some kind of like vibrational wave that I'm putting out because I'm getting hit up by like guys who were born in like 2007, guys who were born in 1993, and then guys who were born in like the 1950s.
You're covering them all, son, grandson,
Bases
daddy.
are covered, right?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know like what is that about? Are you getting that too?
I can tell you what it's about. No, I don't necessarily get that, but
Yeah.
I get a little bit of it. But I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, unquestionably why that is. And the men that are watching this show can vouch for it. They can send you comments, emails, whatever, and tell you that it's true. You are an extremely attractive woman. Period. So it doesn't like you could put yourself like it doesn't matter. Every single man who has testosterone in his body, I don't care if he's 8 to 80, crippled or crazy. He's going to want to, and if he has any gumption about himself.
But it's such a wide demographic. And as two people who are in broadcast, we're all about those numbers and the demographics, right? The demos. But it's just, I don't know. It's just weird to me.
So let me
it's
ask
a weird
you this,
space
Amy.
to be in.
It's different because again, women, you think differently. But if I'm a man,
yeah,
and I'm 80 years old,
yeah,
and I did my whole life, like I did my teens, my 20s, my 30s, and I knew attractive women when I saw them. Like I was like, whoo, I'm gonna talk to her, right?
yeah.
When I'm 80, that didn't go away.
Right.
It didn't go away. I'm still gonna find women that are attractive. I want to approach them. I want to speak to them. I want to be in their presence. So I'm going to talk to you. And a young man in his 20s or whatever sees you, you fit the same mold. You're like, I would want that lady. I would want that auntie. Auntie, I want to see what auntie's all about.
I just became a real auntie for the first time.
Yeah, see, there you go. Congratulations. You fit the mold. It'd be like, I got this hot lady. She's incredibly beautiful, and she can come pick me up in her car, and she could probably take me and get me a Happy Meal when we're done. and drop me off at basketball practice. I mean, shit, it's a win-win-win. Yeah.
That's so funny. And so you don't find yourself in that doesn't happen for you like as a guy where you've got like different generations and you're kind of like navigating like
So
the
here's what I'll
youngins and
tell you.
then
It doesn't work necessarily for every man, and it doesn't work for me, and I'll tell you why it doesn't
mhm,
work for me. Um, there are women in a certain age group that I will attract for sure.
yeah.
But when we talk about some of the younger women that are in their prime,
Mhm.
male dating area, there's one thing that I don't have that an older man of my stature should have to attract those women.
What is
Lots of
that?
money. Lots of money.
Oh,
If and
that is a
and
great point.
it's the truth. Like if 'cause you ever see older men like that are wealthy and they're surrounded by young women,
Right.
attractive young women? Why is that?
And I actually have had this conversation with my girlfriends who, and they are using apps and they hate the apps, but they're using them. And the only time they'll go on like a second, third date with someone is if they are very well off. And I think that's so interesting because I've always been like of the mindset to like just provide for my, like, I've always been the provider in a relationship.
Mhm,
Always. Any relationship, I am the provider. So I'm
mhm.
used to being the daddy, like I'm used to being the husband, right? And
Daddy Jamie?
I know, and that so I don't know what it means to be taken care of, like, because I'm the one who handles everything.
Right.
So I find it so interesting when I talk to my girlfriends, and they say exactly what you're saying. Like they're looking for someone who can provide security, comfort, a certain lifestyle, and it's like for me, it's like I feel like I'm on a different planet because it just has never been like
Mhm,
my reality. And I just
mhm.
wasn't raised that way either. Like my dad
Right,
always raised me to be like, his thing was like, you don't need a man. You can want a man and have a man if you want one, but like you don't need one because you're your own boss, right?
right, right.
And so I don't know. I do find that so interesting. Like, have you been on a date with someone or interacted with someone in the date on the dating scene where that's something that they actually brought up to you that they're looking for financial security?
Nobody's ever really brought it up to me verbatim because, like I said, I wasn't really out there. But I have been
Yeah.
obviously the circles that I
Yeah.
have run in over the years. My best friends are all athletes that have
Yeah.
played professionally, and I've been in a circle with these guys, and I say I see it. I've seen it for decades happen, and I've watched, you know, the whole bounce around thing. But my thing, it's always been like this for me. Like I grew up, and I've never verbalized this out loud, so
Yeah.
this is tough for me to say. But um, I was always um, I wanted to attract women who liked me for me and how
Mhm.
I thought this was enough. I always thought this
Right.
was enough, right? And then I got to a point where I would be in the circles with people, and this was not enough. None of this was enough. Like I might as well have been a freaking sticker on the wall because nobody saw
Wow.
me. Dead ass. I would be, and that was like I used to be like when I was married and I go all these places. I'd be like, nobody's looking for me. You have nothing to worry about. Nobody. I could be invisible right now. And then
Wow.
yeah, so yeah,
Because you're
I've been
surrounded by all of these professional athletes who are yeah. But don't
who
you feel I mean, like, I feel like doesn't that if that feels transactional to me,
it
and
is
that makes me
100%.
it makes me as a woman uncomfortable. Like, the idea that, like, "Oh, you have money and, okay, I'll be, I guess, pretty and, and that's how this is gonna" I don't know, it just
Obviously, there is, and again, I'll ask. There's two things. So obviously, it's working for some people.
yeah,
Obviously,
you're right.
some women do not care. And
Yeah.
obviously, there's a lot of men who do not care. And there's people who, like, literally their entire lifestyle is based on this. Like,
Yeah.
there are women who, like, uh, uh, let's be respectfully controversial right now. And
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I've never verbalized a lot of this stuff out in
No,
life.
I love it.
So
Tell
you're
me.
getting it fresh,
Yeah.
Amy. This is real. Like, and I hope nobody takes it the wrong way, but I'm just being
I hope they
honest
do.
of what
No.
I see. They will. They probably send emails to Jamie, not me.
Whatever.
But it's like I've seen people, and I'm usually not. I'm not judgmental at all. at all.
Yeah.
And because I've always had a hard time. People would be like, "Oh, that's a good looking dude," and I'd be like, or they'd be like, "You're a good looking dude," and I'd be like, "Okay, I guess so, because you say so." I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But I do know ugly when I see it. I do know unattractive when I see it. I know it. And
Right.
I've seen some unattractive dudes
That's where
with
the stiff arm
money.
comes out. Yeah.
I've seen some unattractive dudes with money, and they're out there right now.
Yeah.
But because they're 6'7" and they could dunk the basketball and their bank account
Oh,
is $700 million,
yeah.
they have the most beautiful people
Because there's
around that
700
are
million
just
reasons. Yeah. Yeah.
700 million reasons, right? And
Yeah.
so they have the pick of the litter. And it rubbed me the wrong way. But I mean, at a certain point, you just have to accept that that's the reality, right? And you just got to play the game. But I just like, why am I here? What am I doing? Why did I go to the gym this week? Why am I intermittent fasting right now? I'm hungry and nobody's
Yeah.
even looking.
Right. No, well, first of all, you are fabulous. And that's one of the things that I noticed about you when I first met you. And I have this thing with everyone. When I see someone who just takes care of themselves, and like I see that as like self-respect. Self-care is self-respect. I remember first meeting you and you came into the studio and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like this guy, you're so fit and like on your game, right? Like just on your shit. But you do it for you." And I think I just have so much respect for that. I love that you've always been that way. So know
Well,
that.
thank
Take
you.
that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's
But
important for you to know that. But
it took some, some years of beating up my self-esteem with it. But yeah, no, honestly, I've always been good with myself. Because I know that all of this, the shell that we have,
yeah,
it's eventually going away. Everybody, I don't
exactly.
care who you are.
And that's why when we talk about like 700 million reasons, all I can think of is like when I knew I wanted to get out of my marriage, I was like, I can't die here. I'm not happy. Like, this is not, I remember thinking that, like, I can't die like this. That was
Right.
my thought. I have to like pivot and get out of this situation because it's not serving anyone. And I'm just going to be, there's no money in the world. No, I can't. How many houses do I have to build?
Right.
Right. I was doing all the things. The little projects weren't, making anything any better. No purse that I could possibly go to Nordstrom and purchase for myself was going to fix this situation, right? You
Mhm.
can't bury your feelings inside a YSL bag.
Yes.
So it, I just don't, I wonder what happens to those people who have those transactional relationships, because in the beginning it looks good, but like you said, all of this stuff, like it fades. And then what are we left with?
And I can tell you, the answer to that too, because I've seen it. And that's what
Mhm.
if you live long enough, ladies and gentlemen, and you navigate your way through these circles, you'll be able to see what happens. And I've been
Yeah.
able to see it. So I've gone from the process of being in college and watching, these girls who are attracted to the prospect, like the guy that's we know that guy is going to the next level. And
Oh,
so I've seen
wow.
that happen, right? But those guys still didn't have money. So they were young and clamoring. And then they make it to the next level. And these ladies didn't make it with them. So they move on to the next generation of guys that are coming up and they hang on. And then maybe they catch one. And then they'll make their way through that circuit for a little while. But ultimately, what happens is just like I said a second ago, all of this eventually goes away. I don't
Mhm.
nobody's made it out with all this intact, right?
Right. Right.
And eventually a lot of them they unfortunately age out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you're in the league too. And when you're in the league, at some point you age out. You get too old to play the game. And so a lot of these people they age out and because these guys or whatever are no longer interested in what they see or what they can get from this woman.
Right.
So
As a father of four, what do you tell like you have young adult daughters? Do you
yeah.
have these types of conversations with them? I'm sure they have boyfriends or,
Yeah, all of my daughters are single, so I think they know better. Yeah, all of them are single. They have no men, no prospects, no nothing. And unfortunately, I think a lot of it is my fault, and it's not intentional because I'm not really that guy.
yeah.
But they grew up in rural on the outskirts of Seattle, right? In the
Mhm.
suburbs where it was not very diverse. It was just a situation where they were like the only ones that looked like them for their entire lives in their school. So, but they're very beautiful girls,
Yeah, they are.
beautiful,
They're
like
gorgeous. Yeah,
models,
they are
literally models.
gorgeous. Yeah.
But the challenge comes in, everybody knew their dad. Everybody was like, not fooling around over there. Like,
Yeah.
you see Terry, don't, yeah. And I'm not intimidating, but
Yeah.
I'm gregarious, I'm smiling, I'm happy all the time, but they're like, the big black dude, don't mess with that dude and none of these kids.
Right.
So,
Right.
but I talked to my girls a lot, um, just about ways to carry themselves and how to, just to navigate the world that they live in. So I think that went a long way with them, and
Mhm.
they're very selective, very choosy, and I don't think they would ever, you know, fall for the okie doke. And never
Mhm.
they're the type that, we did a good job, both of us,
Yeah.
me and her mom did a good job of ingraining in them that, their value was not in something that a man can give them or that anyone
Mhm.
can give them. Their value is what in intrinsic. It's inside of you, the kind of person that you are. You're a good
Mhm.
person. You're a not you take care of, your siblings. You love people for genuine reasons. So they're not gonna fall for that. They're not gonna
Yeah.
fall for that.
What has it been like for you, like being single and having young adult kids? Like, how has that dynamic changed your relationship, or has it?
It has, but for a couple of reasons. Because my adult children have moved to San Diego. All of them are in San Diego for different reasons. Crazy
Mhm.
enough, right? For different reasons. One goes to the University of California, San Diego. One just started at San Diego State, and the other one's down there working. And so they're all together in San Diego. And so I come from a situation where I was with them literally every day of their lives. Like, I
Yeah.
would wake them up in the morning.
Mhm.
I would make all their meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, literally from the day they were born, literally, and drive them to school and pick them up from school and take them to their doctors and dentist appointments. And I was dad, like I was dad. And then it came to a point where, now they're gone. Um, my relationship, our family dynamic changed.
Mhm.
And so now I have to develop a different kind of relationship with them. I'm still their dad. Nothing can erase what we did, but now we have more of an adult father daughter relationship where they can come to me and talk to me about stuff that's going on in their lives. They can tell me about things that, you know, that frustrate them or things that they're
Mhm.
excited about. And it's not dad is, here to be dad and lay the law and this is the way we do it. No, we gonna have a genuine adult conversation.
That's huge. Because I would imagine, I don't know. I just imagine like drama, like as a girl, as someone who was a teenage girl, right?
Yeah,
I
right.
just, so there's no drama. There's no crazy situations that you've had to navigate or I don't know, help
No,
them with or,
like growing up wise, we've had
yeah, you know,
my daughters have been generally drama free. Honestly,
wow.
I'm lucky. I knock on wood. But they've been generally drama free. We've had a couple things that we've had to deal with over the years, but nothing really bad. My daughters are really, really smart, like
Mhm.
super smart, like embarrassingly smart. Like, I would help them with their homework, and like particularly like my second daughter, she's like genius level smart, and I would help her with her homework, and she'd be like, "No, that's not the way to do it." And I'd be like, "Shut up, get out of here. You go do your homework by yourself then. What are we
Right.
doing?"
Right.
But yeah, they've been really, really good. I'm really blessed and fortunate.
Um, do you have, is there any like topics that you wanted to talk about in this,
No,
you know,
no,
any,
we talked a lot about me
yeah.
and my dating thing. And I think a lot of your viewers are gonna want to know about Jamie and her dating life and what she's looking for and what it's gonna take to get her to be like, yeah, I'm gonna answer that DM on LinkedIn. I'm gonna answer that inbox message on Words with Friends when I'm
It
playing with
will, oh
Jamie.
my gosh. First of all, I'm not on Words with Friends. So if someone's using my photo or my name, they're totally scamming you. Don't send them any money. That's like my biggest fear though, is that like someone's going to get scammed because, like I just hate that. I hate that people can do that. It's so easy to do
It is.
and there's no consequences for it. Like how am I supposed to track down that person who like stole your image and then is like making
Yeah,
people think that
making
they're in
money.
this weird text relationship with you?
And
I just find that the worst.
And it's I would imagine that it's almost nearly impossible to really fix that in the end, even if you come in and be like, listen, that was not me. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter at that point when you're saying it, because now they've spent their money or spent their time or spent whatever, and they're invested.
They're
And
invested.
I don't
Yeah.
care how much you apologize. It's not gonna help them.
I don't know. I think you're right though. I'm just not, I don't know. I'm just not like interested. I feel like I'm at this point in my life right now where I know all the people that I need to know. I know it sounds terrible.
It does sound terrible, but it's cool.
But
It's your
respectfully,
life.
I know all the people I need to know.
No,
And
no. Just pause right there, since you're gonna. I
yeah,
don't want you to miss that. Since you
yeah,
know all the people you need to know.
yeah.
Is there any opportunity for someone that you already know to enter that space?
Well, they have, which is really weird to me. Yes. So like people that I already know who are like it catches me off guard because I'm just so like, I don't want to say I'm naive, but I guess sometimes I can be naive. And it's like someone that I know will just message me and I'm not realizing that like, oh, that guy's single and he's not just messaging me like, hey, how are you? Like, what's up? Haven't talked to you in a long time. And the conversation starts going down it like, and I'm like, wait, hold on. Like you said, you get trapped in a situation where you're like, I'm like, how do I get out of here? Right. And I don't know. Like, I think there's so many people out there who are just like lonely and they don't want to meet new people either. So they'll go through their own social media and go through their contact list.
They're
right.
running through the list.
And they're like checking through the profiles. Like, hold on, who's single and who's not? Right. And
no.
yeah. So like I definitely have had people who I know or I've worked with before or, worked in the same stratosphere as, and that definitely has happened. That's even happened with like athletes that like just people I've interviewed that suddenly are like, hey, remember that time we talked 5 years ago? And I'm like, what? Like,
I explained this to you in depth. So now you know moving forward that it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah. It's just, I guess it's weird because
it's going to happen.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying. I think it's just because like if you ever get a message from someone with my photo, I'm not slipping into your DMs. Let me just be very clear.
Okay, we got that. But
yeah. So I guess that's why, exactly. So like, but then I assume because I already know them that it's like safe, like it's neutral. And then I realize that it's not sometimes. And I'm like, oh. But and I've shared stuff with you. I've shown you stuff where I'll just leave people on red sometimes, and like because you're like, what did you write back? And I'm like, obviously nothing, because there's I just left it there.
Yes, but that again, we're not gonna leave, Jamie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I need to know, and everybody else out there needs to know, what does it take? Like since you said, this whole deal, and you don't want to meet new people.
Yeah.
What does it take then? Or are you just going to be forever single?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just have like little wiener dogs, like I'm that girl. Like right now I'm so happy just being like, I think just on my own. I don't really see it as like single. I just see it like I'm just on my own. But no, you're right. Like I know eventually I think everybody wants like companionship. I'm the kind of person that's like, I think, and I've thought about this. I'm glad you brought this up. I would totally do a long distance relationship.
Oh, really?
Why?
Why would you choose that as opposed to somebody that's next door?
I don't know.
I want to be in a relationship, but not in a relationship. I'm good.
I know. but I think I would never done that, but I think I would be good at that. Right. Because I'm not that kind of person who's like up in your business. Like I don't have to like check on you every day or like, I'm not that person that's like, good morning, good night, good day, what'd you have for lunch? Like, that's just not my thing. I got things going on. Right. So I would expect that the other person would also have things going on, because if they're asking, like if there's all of these messages coming in, I'm just like what are you doing? Right. Then I'm concerned with like your productivity.
Amy, that's what he's doing. Obviously thinking about you. Right. He's donating.
No, I think like, no, definitely not. No dating apps. No, like you won't find me like going to like some kind of like event where like, people can meet other singles. Like it's just not a thing. Like I just wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I have had friends approach me about matchmakers. Have you ever heard of like matchmaking companies that like, if you are in a certain industry or if you are in a certain, pay bracket or whatever it is, as long as you're a professional, it's like, then you qualify for, but then again, that's also like, you'd have to go on, like, how do you get out of that date? I think that's my thing. I'm already planning my exit.
You're planning your exit.
I'm already planning my exit strategy. I'm like, are you gonna call me and be like, there's been an emergency? And I'm gonna be like, what? There's been an emergency? Like, I have to go.
I'll be right there.
I'll be right there. Beep boop, beep boop.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't know. Because that's exactly where my brain goes. And that's why when you said that, when you sent me that message, you're like, oh, so you can get a head start. Like, I was like, oh, I've never felt more seen and more attacked ever, because you like nailed it, like beat me right over the head with it. And that's so true. Like, I don't know. I think meeting someone through friends is good, because it's like you can trust your friends.
Yeah.
And like they already know like who you are, what you're interested in, who you're willing to sit across from a dinner table with. I think I would hope that like friends would be able to gauge someone. But I'm just not into, I don't like the idea of like blind dates. I think it was like, because I had been married for a decade, becoming single was like this, I felt like so free, like I could breathe. Like I felt like I could breathe again. And I didn't want to get in the wedding sack. Like, have you seen Borat, the movie?
I saw the original one. I saw the first one.
Yeah, where he keeps trying to get Pamela Anderson in the wedding sack, and he's like, get in the wedding. She's like, I don't want to get married. Like, after I got divorced, let me tell you, I went on one date, right, with this guy. No names, respectfully. However, it was a situation. I think that it kind of like traumatized me, because the whole dinner he was talking about his bonuses for his job. Then he tried to mansplain me on his Amex card, because he had an Amex Platinum card. And I'm like, sir, I have the same card. Like,
sir,
you don't know who you're sitting across from, right?
Exactly.
Sir.
Not impressive.
Sir, check, please. And then all he would talk about this whole dinner were these two Teslas. He has matching Teslas. I know. And I'm like, I couldn't. And I'm like, no, I'm like full. I need a gas guzzler. Like, I'm an Audi girl. You'll have to like take my dead cold hands off the steering wheel of this SQ5. Like, I got a guy, his name's Zoltan. I bought 6 cars from him. He's at Seattle Audi. Like, that's my man. Okay. Don't try to step in between our relationship. And this guy's trying to get me to drive a Tesla. And I was like, that's not happening.
Not
no.
gonna happen. And I have to go.
And I have to go, right? Yeah. And then he said that we would be great, all at the same conversation, I would be great with him on his Christmas card. Oh, sir, I don't send Christmas. First of all, don't send Christmas card. Do you think I'm the kind of girl who sends a Christmas card? No.
Wait a minute.
Secondly, I don't want to appear on your Christmas card to send to your family. Like,
this was on date 1?
Yeah. And he was talking about how he's the Ross to my Rachel. And let me tell you how many times I've heard that on TV, like the comparison to like Rachel Green from Friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like this is not the first time I'm hearing this. And like, it was just, I couldn't get out of there. Like the steak, it was a great steak. It was a really good restaurant. I remember like the service was good. It was funny too, because like the conversation, the tables were pretty close to each other. And the couple that was sitting at the table adjacent to us, like the wife was fully invested in what was happening in my
I bet it was entertainment.
Yeah. And I felt like her and her husband, like, you know, when they do that, like the double take, like, or the triple, like where their neck snaps. And I knew instantly, I'm like, oh, great. Now they know the news. Like, yes, yes. And I was like,
yep.
And now they're listening. Not only do they recognize me, right? But they're like, now they're listening to this conversation of like me, and now I have a matching Tesla, and I'm going to be on some kind of Christmas card, and you know, like it was just the whole thing. And it was just so funny that like it was almost like the wife, I'm assuming they were husband and wife, but like she was like looking at me like blink twice, like if
you need help,
if you need help, blink twice, right? And I think that was such a like, it wasn't that it was like, I'm really nice guy. Sure, he found his Rachel, right?
To his Ross.
But I was just like, I have better use of my time. I'd rather be out with my girlfriends right now.
Yeah.
Or my guy friends who I know are not going to have these weird conversations with me, and I'll just be able to go home to my dog because like I don't know. It's just like I don't have a good like, cause you're so good. You're a showman. You remind me of like, you know, every news anchor that I've worked with that's like stellar. Like you can put it on. So like I'm from New Jersey. I have like my standard, like, you know, baseline is resting bitch face. So like I'm like, can they see what I'm thinking? That's what I'm thinking. Like in my mind, I'm like, am I showing it? Is it the Botox? Like, I don't know. Because that doesn't help, right? Because it just puts it right back to center, right? And so like, I can't pretend. So I'm like, I have to leave. Like I would just want to get out of there. So that's how I felt about that one date that I went on. And I was just like, I don't want to do this again. And I was like I want to say it was like 6 months after I had gotten divorced. And I was like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Yeah. Like no one has blown my hair back.
Is that what it's going to take? I mean,
at this point, I'm like, I've done so many, like I'm the kind of person, I like to set goals and crush them, right? Yeah. Like that's just my whole life. That's what I've done. Like I wanted to be a main anchor at a O&O, did that. And as soon as I got there, I was like, okay, like I'm not going to die in this chair. Like I need to figure out what's next, right? So I'm always looking for the next goal, the next thing. And I feel like I want someone who also likes to crush goals and wants to like hustle the same way I do. Like, I think I'm just tired of having to like provide.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm like, I don't want another wife.
Been a recurring theme here.
I don't want another wife. I'm not in the market.
But look, what if he was really, really, really hot and just like, and did like cool things for you and to you?
No, I mean, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I'm good. Like, that bad?
Yeah, I'm just a little bit bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm so confident in my own skills.
I get that. I got
this.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but I mean, on the flip side of that, think how, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to even say that. I was going to say like how some men might feel in that situation. Yeah. Right? Like now I'm the man, I provide, and, you know.
Well, yeah, no, and that's true. Cause then I wouldn't want someone who is like also like what's the word? Gonna think that they're like in charge. Like, because I'm talking more about like an equal.
Yeah. Okay,
I think it's just about finding an equal and knowing for sure that like that person would be someone worth investing time in. The same way that you were talking about like with your daughters, like their value it's inside of them. Like I want to find someone who also is that same way, that isn't coming because they need to be coddled or stroked or mommied, or like they're all good. Like they don't need a mom. Like, and they don't need a dad. Like I play all roles, and I'm like, it is exhausting. Yeah. So that's just been my experience. Yeah. But yeah, I would say it would have to be someone who just like totally like blew my hair back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, listen, guys. I have laid the groundwork for you. You're watching, and now you know what Jamie is looking for. I've done my best. I can't do much more. I've laid it out there for you. Blow her hair back.
Right.
or whatever
Talk to
else.
Zoltan
Yeah.
at Seattle Audi. He will hook
Yes,
you up.
he'll hook you right up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And listen, don't try to put her in the wedding bag.
The wedding sack.
The
I'm not
wedding
getting in the
sack.
wedding sack.
Like, don't get
And
in
I
the
don't
wedding
know
sack.
what that is. Like, there's something about it to me that felt like it became like I felt like trapped, like caged. And I think once I got free of that, then I just love having that. That's why I think I would be really good at like a long distance thing. Because
Mhm.
I'm not the kind of person, I don't need to know what you're doing every day. I don't need to be up in your business. I'm never going to go through your phone. I'm just not that
Never.
person.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't. I just think it's like, there needs to be like a level of respect. Like, you can handle your business. I'm going to handle my business. And we're both adults and we just enjoy spending time together.
Yeah,
Right.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, everybody still has needs, Jamie.
You're making me blush.
What do you what is one
It's
to
not, it's
do?
the pink lighting. I'm glad this
That's
lighting
the
is
big
pink.
lighting, but no, what is one to
Yeah.
do?
What is one to do? I mean, you can handle your own business. Like,
Oh, Lord, have mercy,
right.
respectfully.
I'm not
Yes,
supposed,
you do.
yeah, respectfully. Like, I don't know. I just think that I can handle whatever life throws at me. I've got it. And I think that too, like, I have like such an independent spirit
Uh-huh.
that like, I love coming home to Winnie, my wiener dog. Like, she's
Oh,
my little girl.
yeah.
And like, but you know what it is? It's just like such a pure, innocent love.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Unconditional.
just unconditional. And like, she has no ulterior motive. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't want anything from me except hugs and kisses and then some treats.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, it's just an easy, I don't know. Like, I think relationships are just so hard and complicated, and at least the ones that I've experienced, that like, yeah, I think I'm right now, I'm super content with my dog
Okay.
and work and just kind of like my friendships. Though that's the thing that I've been pouring my energy into, is just my friendships, and like whether it's like new friends, old friends, but like really investing my time and pouring love into those relationships, because I feel like that's irreplaceable.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. Like,
Yep.
I've got girlfriends that I've had for decades, and they've seen me through so many different eras, decades of my life, and different versions of me, different news anchor hairstyles, different, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all
Oh,
of the
yeah.
phases.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like that has stood the test of time, is friendships. And I wish like that would be advice that people would hear more about, is like, hey, pour into your friends.
Oh, yeah.
If you think about your friends, you should just message them and be like, hey, I just want you to know I appreciate you so much. That's like something that I've been doing recently, where I just reach out to someone randomly and will, like, as if they cross my mind, and you're doing whatever, chores, I don't know,
Yeah.
driving somewhere, but like somebody pops in your head, a song will remind me of someone, and I'll reach out to them and just let them know, like, you're such a good friend. I appreciate you so much. Can't wait to like, let's make plans to either connect, do a Zoom, get a cocktail, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I feel like those are the relationships that I'm more focused on, because I don't know, maybe
No,
like,
you're
yeah.
right. You're right. And I think, through this entire process that I've just gone through, that you went through as well with the divorce, and I think I really had a chance to figure out for myself, like, where my true friendships
Hmm.
lie, like who really were, had my back, and not even just had my back, but just were like there for me, and really, really understood me, and really, sometimes they didn't have to say anything. They could just be there. You know what I'm saying?
And
We could
that
talk
is
about
love.
anything.
To
Yeah.
me, that is love.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it doesn't have to come in the form of like, Teslas, a steak dinner, an Amex card. Like, no, it's just like you said, hanging out with friends, and you don't even have to talk, like, you don't even have to say anything. They're just there.
Yep.
And that to me is love.
Yeah.
That's the kind of love I want to attract, I
Oh,
guess.
100%. Yeah, yeah. So again, it's great. I hope everybody out there finds that genuine friendship, and hopefully that's something that you have in your life now. And if you don't,
Right.
I mean, I'm sure everybody does, but I think it just takes sometimes for us to just step back and be like, okay, this person genuine, because there's sometimes people who proclaim to be your friend, and they
Yes.
really aren't. Like they're
But
really,
it's the ones that call you when they don't need anything. It's the ones that show up because they remembered, oh, I heard you were working on this project and I wanted to see how it was going. Um, People who think of you and they're not looking for anything in return, like it's not it's
that's
not transactional in that way. Those are the most meaningful, I think, the most meaningful relationships that we can possibly have.
Oh, 100%. And that's through this whole process. That's what I meant by I'm figuring this whole thing out,
Yeah.
learning who's who and learning how to put people in their different compartments in that place. You know what I mean? Like I've had friends that I've been associated with for the last 20 years, right? That
Yeah.
I haven't heard from them. They don't
Same.
talk to
Yeah.
me. They don't
Yeah.
reach out. They see these things happening in my life. They see traumatic things. I'm not going to talk to you about it this time, but we'll talk about it sometime. Like
Yeah.
literally, right after I got divorced, I
Yeah.
caught on literal fire.
I know.
I was in a
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
accident, a bonfire,
Hmm.
where I was put into the burn unit here at Harborview Hospital for 2 days. And
Yeah.
I had to learn how to walk again. And people that I were associated with for 20 years, I didn't hear a peep from them.
Wow.
And so again, it put a lot of things in perspective. I had friends that would come up that literally came to my house and just sat with me in silence while I just sat there in pain. So yeah, you gotta decipher and decide who's who in your life and pour into people who pour into you.
Well, I so appreciate you coming on and talking. I mean, you like, I know that you are, you're so sensitive, and you're so, how to explain it. You just have such a big heart. And I know that because I've worked with you and like, face to face. And I want to say we met like in 2015.
Yeah.
And the best conversations I ever had with you were always commercial break conversations.
Yep.
It's never what we're talking about on TV. That's the staged shit that we're,
Yes.
it's like we're just doing what we're getting paid to do. But
Right.
like, I loved having this conversation with you, and I knew bringing you on, I just wanted people to like get to know you in the way that I was able to get to know you. And so I just thank you so much for being so vulnerable and being willing to talk about things that are hard to talk about, but things that we're all experiencing.
100%. We're all going through something. I promise you, everybody that's out there listening, watching, wherever you're at, I know you're either in the middle of something, you're going into something, or you're coming out of something. So there is something that we talked about here today that Jamie will be talking about for years to come that you're going to be able to grab something from and
Yeah.
know you're not alone and know that there's somebody out there that knows exactly what you're going through and cares about what you're going through. So thank you for doing what you do, Jamie. Thank you for having me on. Like, I feel like this was almost like a serious therapy session. Like I sat down with the counselor for a while and I got to work on me. And I appreciate that. And again, going back to when we first met, I told you years ago that I was a Jamie Tompkins fan. And the thing is, and it's not changed. It's only just grown. So I'm so happy for you.
And I'm still in the Nikes.
And still got the Nikes on. Ladies and gentlemen, when I met her, she had on like this cute, incredible dress. Like she's the anchor, right? She's Miss Professional, Miss Seattle. She got this incredible dress on with some Nikes down at the bottom. I'm like, she's special. She's different. So, yeah, thank you. You've always been special.
I appreciate that. That's so sweet. Okay, I know people, so that more people don't slip into my DMs. How can they reach you? Because I know people are going to want to be able to connect with you, learn more about your new podcast, all of the stuff that you have going on.
Yeah.
How can they follow you?
Listen, it's really easy to follow and slide in my DMs. It is Terry Hollimon. Terry, TerryHollimoN. At everything, literally everything. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Social Security. Everything. Yeah, that's where you can find me. And you'll find the clips to all my shows and just you get invited into my life and my world.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I've so enjoyed talking to you, and I can't wait to see Make Me Wanna Holla. I know it's going to be a huge hit because it's you.
Thank
all right.
you.
I love you. Thank you so much. Holla!